Welcome back to The Point. We're discussing the rather unfortunate, some would say messy situation that's developed in Delhi with the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister casting aspersions upon both serving and retired civil servants. And we move now to talk about what impact this will have on morale and what impact it will have on governance and therefore on the government of Delhi. Mr. Sehgal, you are a former Chief Secretary of Delhi. Has this whole situation brought governance into disrepute? To many, it's like an Italian comic opera where silly, meaningless, foolish charges are being traded, except this is not a musical on a stage, this is real life. So has it brought governance into disrepute?
Well, you should have been in the meeting which the association had a few days back. You should have been there and you should have seen the body language and the words which were spoken by junior officers. The junior officers could not speak aloud because both the secretaries to the Chief Minister and the Lieutenant Governor were there. But what they whispered in our ears was absolutely clear that they are terrified and they would like somehow, they have just started their service, they have another 25-30 years ahead of them, they would like to have a more peaceful and most of them have passed difficult exams. Most of them have done some of the most difficult subjects which are imaginable in the whole world, the difficult exams. And what are they in for now? To be called corrupt, to be called for the Chief Secretary to be treated like this, for an officer to be locked out of his room, for carrying out legal orders issued by the highest authority in the country, which has been confirmed by the Home Ministry today. Now, all of them are very worried. But what they wanted was the stalemate to end. What they wanted was that somehow a peaceful situation should come back, and that is why no such resolution was passed which would further spoil this situation.
Okay.
We did discuss, there were two former Lieutenant Governors there, there were at least 24 Chief Secretaries serving and retired, both Pondicherry, Goa, etc., who are members of our cadre. They were sitting there. And we discussed why is it that certainly after 22 years of Delhi and much longer in Pondicherry, there have been always conflicts between Chief Ministers and Lieutenant Governors, always. I have yet to serve in the Union Territory, I have served all my life, where there have not been conflicts, but they have always been resolved. And we finally decided that there are three key individuals who can help resolve this crisis. One is the Chief Secretary, one is the Secretary to the CM, and one is the Secretary to the Lieutenant Governor. They are all senior officers and they are made senior for that. If the Lieutenant Governor and the Chief Minister use their secretaries as a go-between to each other and use the Chief Secretary, I think many of these conflicts could be resolved. This will never be resolved by government orders from the center.
Absolutely.
I'm glad the order has come because it makes the position clear for bureaucrats, but it will not be resolved like this. It will be resolved when both of them decide to resolve.
I'll come to the resolution in a moment's time, but I want to first, Mr. Khaitan, put you the first half of Mr. Sehgal's answer. That the people at that association meeting, both serving as well as retired, particularly young officers, felt frightened, they felt disheartened, they felt discouraged, they were worried. And a resolution was passed at that meeting. Today, in the Hindustan Times, your Deputy Chief Minister was asked about that resolution where they expressed their concern and they expressed their anguish. And do you know what Mr. Sisodia told the Hindustan Times? I'm quoting him. Tell me, who are these people, he asks. They are the same people, especially the retired ones, who are named in one corrupt case or another. That is his answer in public to the Hindustan Times. Once again, sweepingly, he's branding people as corrupt. More importantly, he's dismissing the resolution. He's utterly unconcerned about the demoralization and the anguish. And I ask you, has your Deputy Chief Minister made a terrible mistake?
Okay, so I'm quite amused by this notion that retired bureaucrats are very concerned about the morale of the officers and they're very concerned about the functioning of the bureaucracy and the functioning of the government. It's we, the elected government, which is primarily vested with the responsibility of taking care of the morale of the officers, taking care of the working condition of the officers, and we are quite cognizant of our responsibility. And both the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister, every day they interact with their officers, They are working in tandem with their officers, and I can tell you with authority as part of the government that none of the officers working, including both senior and junior officers, have ever expressed their anguish or any fear of being persecuted for doing
because
right
they know
things,
your
for doing
government
things
won't take it
which
seriously.
should be which are appropriate.
Because they know your
First of
government
all,
won't take it
I have
seriously.
been working with the officers. They are very happy. In fact, there are many officers who are very happy that for the first time they are working in a government whose sole lodestar is public interest and not any vested interest. Because
How good
earlier
you are at giving yourself a pat on the
where
back.
public servants used to
All right.
where
That's a
public
very-
servants
that's
used to express their servitude
Mr. Khaitan,
towards
I
elected
asked you a
representatives.
specific
In
question
this
about a
government,
specific
there is no
answer given by your
servility, there is
Deputy
no
Chief Minister
servitude
about a resolution
expected of
that
any
you've
public
ignored.
servant.
Instead,
We
you've come up with a
expect
very
each public
self-serving
servant
reply to suit
hold
your
his
purpose.
head high
Mr.
and serve the
Subramaniam.
people of Delhi.
Mr. Subramaniam, you've heard the sense of demoralization expressed by Mr. Sehgal. You've heard the response from Mr. Khaitan.
I know it from other.
Will Mr. Khaitan's answer be reassuring?
No, not only that, I'm getting very worried now. I mean, this is refusal to see what is happening around one is among the worst kind of problems that we have. I see that. I can assure you, there is one person who is highly concerned. I'm reasonably sure there are many others. Can I make just I just take 2-3 short points. India in general is not bothered. India in general. I speak to people in Bombay, Calcutta. Okay, I'm going for a lecture day after tomorrow. I said, topic Delhi. Oh no, it doesn't matter to us. Talk about something else. Number one, bureaucrats all over are worried. There is intelligentsia in India worried about one thing.
Is this not a sweeping statement?
It is a sweeping statement. It is a comment. I am
If
not
you
criticizing
can make
anybody.
sweeping statements,
I am not
so can
criticizing
he.
anybody. I am
You
giving an
just
opinion.
said- you just
I am
said
giving an
about the
opinion.
Delhi government.
I am
Are
not.
they not sweeping
I am
in
not
nature?
doing
Mr.
anybody
Khaitan,
down. Giving
you
an
are making
opinion.
a lot of sweeping
I'm
statements
giving an
yourself.
opinion now.
Your objection is a case
I'm
of
giving
the
an
pot
opinion
calling
now.
the kettle black.
This is my view. Please give your view there.
Go ahead.
And lastly,
Oh.
most thinking people are
I
worried
see.
about this. That who does the Aam Aadmi Party liberate the people of Delhi from? Are they going to liberate them from the British, the Germans, the Chinese, the Pakistanis, North Koreans, and from the tyranny of the government of India, which is a dictatorship? I mean, the poor people of Delhi, the saviors have come. Don Quixote and Sancho Panza have come.
Mr. Subramaniam,
Liberate them.
Mr. Subramaniam, narrow your answer to what sort of impression Mr. Khaitan
By and
will have
large,
left Delhi
the
bureaucrats.
constitutional crisis is not of great concern. The bureaucrats are very, very concerned in general, and Delhi is one of the best cadres in India.
And are they demoralized?
They are demoralized, but they also feel they will take it in their stride. They have seen all kinds of funny things in the past. They will live this through also and laugh behind the sleeves.
Mrs. Arvind, in that
Can you show-
interview,
can you give
Mr.
the evidence?
Khaitan, wait your turn, please. There are others who've been waiting patiently
Can you give the
without
evidence?
interrupting. Mr. Khaitan, a little bit of silence while others speak would be a good idea. It's only fair they should have their chance. Mr. Sundaram, in that interview to the Hindustan Times, Mr. Sisodia appeared to provide some sort of justification for his treatment of civil servants. He said, when governments change, conventions must also change. And he added, we are here to change conventions. Now, I'm not sure whether he was referring to his relationship with civil servants specifically, or whether he was referring broadly to his entire relationship with the Delhi Lieutenant Governor as well. But do you accept that argument? That because the governments change, conventions must change, and therefore the manner in which civil servants are treated, spoken of, branded as guilty without any proof is acceptable?
I think, Karan, it's very clear. Governments will change, and with governments changing, policies will change. Manners of working will change. But I think basic decency never changes. And that includes acting with some propriety. What really concerns me is, this is a government which should be concerned with governance now, not with revolution, which they were when they were in the opposition. Today, they are concerned with governance. And my whole concern is, the last 1 week was a period of complete uncertainty for the civil service. And that uncertainty has finally been put to rest. And the moment it has been put to rest, comes this new bandying, almost like saying, all right, we lost on the legal front, we lost on the interpretation of who has the power. We are going to hit back like sore losers. And now they make such threatening statements. It's almost like saying the uncertainty which the civil service would have gone through is now going to be replaced with a fear. And where are we heading? Is this good governance? I'm sorry, as a layman, not being a part of the civil service at all, as a pure layman, it worries me as to whether all this is aimed at bringing the best out of the civil service or making it dysfunctional.
Absolutely. Mr. Sanjay Kaur, let me put this to you. There's no doubt that this whole situation that seems to be spiraling out of control has actually begun with the initial dispute and differences between the Lieutenant Governor and the Chief Minister over the appointment of a Chief Secretary. Thereafter, it's gathered momentum, it's exaggerated and accelerated. And now, of course, there are many differences between the two, not just that single first appointment. How is the situation between them to be sorted out? Do you believe that they have the capacity as individuals to sit down and amicably resolve their differences? Or is there now a need for a third party to step in?
So I don't think it comes out of basically friction of that sort. I think it comes out of the attitude that the Aam Aadmi Party in government is exhibiting, particularly the Chief Minister. So the idea of basically of being abrasive, of using friction as a mechanism of communicating to its cadres or its constituency, as somehow putting the blame of everything that's going wrong or not happening onto the other party, mind you, is part of the modus operandi of this group.
Yeah, but I'm asking a different question. I'm asking whether your government in Delhi should step in and knock heads together. Should Mr. Rajnath Singh now take an initiative and say, you guys clearly can't sort out your problems yourselves, I'm going to do it for you?
No, I don't think so. I think the Home Ministry has indicated very clearly that the constitutional position is apparent for all. If it is a matter of which version of it you want to believe, that may be a matter of debate. But fact of the matter is the people of Delhi voted for this party for the sake of governance. That must be delivered.
Okay.
Every captain has to play with the team that he is given, and I don't think you can start nitpicking, particularly when you had chosen or given the option of two persons, and then when one is chosen, you create a mess, particularly when it's a matter only of 10 days. So I think it's an attitudinal, behavioral problem, and this needs to be sorted.
Let me ask you a very simple, direct question, Mr. Subramaniam. The Delhi government today has been given a notification by the MHA specifying clearly what powers it has and what areas it cannot transgress into.
Yeah.
Now, if the defiance from the Delhi government continues, do we then have a situation where there are grounds for dismissal despite the enormous mandate it got?
I would like to think in those terms at this point of time. At this point of time, Government of India have given their version of what I also believe is correct, of what is the legal position today. I think now we should grow up now, accept it as part of the system. There are two possibilities here. One, accept it and then say we are all, each one has a role in the system and you play that role, do your work, water, electricity.
And the second?
And the second is, if you seriously dispute it, don't go to the public, go to the court for a clarification.
Well, let me take
Don't dispute it in public and don't demean yourself by talking loosely. Go to the court, get a clarification. Wait a minute.
Well, just a moment. I want to bring in Mr. Sundaram. Mr. Sundaram, is this a situation in which the courts would be happy to come in and adjudicate, or would a judge say, no, this is a messy situation which arises out of two individuals who clearly can't get on with each other and then has spiraled out of control?
No, I'm talking legal system.
Judiciary. Yeah, let me get Mr. Sundaram to answer that. Would the judge want to adjudicate?
Karan, I do believe that at this juncture, the way it stands is, in view of the central government notification, for the time being at least, the Aam Aadmi Party is bound to act in accordance with that. Like Mr. Subramaniam said, if they have a problem and they do not agree with that, they can always challenge such notification in a court. And if they do challenge such a notification in court and the legality of it, the court would be bound to decide it.
All right. Mr. Khethan, let me ask you a simple question. You know and I know that an official notification was sent out by the MHA making crystal clear, as the MHA sees it, what are your government's powers and what are the areas where you cannot transgress. Will you abide by that? Okay. And will you abide by the distinction that notification makes between what you can and what you can't do?
First of all, there are a lot of accusations and loose statements which have been made on your show, and I have not been given sufficient time for the simple reason because I am in complete minority, and there is a huge opinion that you have accumulated which is making all kinds
Mr.
of loose
Khaitan,
allegations.
before you
assertions.
become a martyr and feel like a victim, I gave you a lot of time to give me proof for your central allegation that civil servants are paying money for jobs and you couldn't. You even admitted you couldn't. Now
or will you not even allow me to speak even my allotted time? First of all, I would like to ask Mr. Subramaniam and Mr. Where is the evidence that all the officers in Delhi are completely feeling demoralized and nobody outside Delhi wants to discuss Delhi? Show me the evidence.
Mr.
Just how you
Sehgal
are
was
asking
at
me
the
the
meeting
evidence,
of civil
please show me the
service that
evidence.
was held 2 days ago.
Show the
That's
minutes
how
of the
he knows
meeting.
it.
Show the minutes of the meeting. Have you seen the minutes of the meeting?
Just a moment. Just
Do
a
you
moment.
have the statement
This is
by
a
those
joke.
officers?
This is a joke. This is a joke.
Can I take you back to the central
This is
question
joke.
I asked? We're running out of time.
Now, if I
want
ask
to
for
take you back
evidence,
to
it is
my
a joke.
question. How
And
far
you go around making loose allegations without evidence is not a joke.
I think the issue is...
do you not wish to
Okay,
answer
now
my
coming to your
question because
second
we're
question.
running out of
Now-
time? The show will be ending
Can I
in about
respond to
a
your question
minute.
now? Yeah.
Will you answer my
Yeah.
question?
So first
will you
of all,
accept the
this
distinctions drawn up by the
notification-
MHA and what you have as your powers and what you don't? Will you accept that?
The other noted Supreme Court lawyer, he said that we can go to the court. For his kind information, we have sought legal opinion, and that legal opinion runs into 281 pages, given by ex-Solicitor General Mr. Gopal Subramaniam.
So you're going to
And
court?
since then, we have taken 2 supplementary legal opinions. One second, can I respond?
Quickly, because we're out of
Those
time.
legal opinions with covering letter of the Chief Minister have been sent to the President for presidential reference. And it is a matter of great regret that while President is seized of the matter today, a completely unconstitutional, illegal notification has been issued in the name of the President by a joint secretary of
Mr.
MHA.
Khaitan, I'm sorry
The
I would
name
have
of
to
the
stop
President
you
is
there,
being
but you
used by a
eventually
joint
did
secretary of
answer
the
my
MHA. The
question
question
because you
is,
call it an
was this
illegal and
notification put before
unconstitutional
the President?
notification, and therefore clearly you don't intend to abide by it. My apologies, we've run right out of time. I'm grateful that you joined us, Mr. Khaitan, even if you were late. I know you were in a minority of one, but please don't say I never gave you a chance to provide proof for the allegations you've made. You yourself said you had no concrete proof. In fact, you said you only had anecdotal references. That suggests that answer
Thapar, people
alone
are
that
watching.
you had a chance to answer.
People
I'm
are
sorry.
watching.
Of course people are watching and people are hearing and people will form their own opinion.
Yes,
as people
absolutely.
in a democracy
Yeah.
have a right
They
to
have
do.
seen the
My
yardstick
thanks
that
to
you
all
apply
my guests for joining me.
in
I hope
asking
the
for
audience
evidence from
has
me,
heard. I
in
hope
asking
you have
from evidence
watched.
from others.
I hope you form your own opinion and you must now decide for yourself where you think truth lies. Goodbye. Good night.